YouTube and welcome to this episode of the Gunman Raw. So today we've got this Mazda CX5 full respray in 46V. So I've been doing quite a lot of these cars recently. They've been warranty work for Mazda, so as you can see here, they have been picking up quite a few stone chips. So my job is to fix all the stone chips and give it a fresh coat of paint. So yeah, let's get into it. I'll put my respirator on. So this job here, obviously all the prep work is done, the masking's done, the wax and grease removing, the tack ragging, all of that has been done, and I'm ready to get the wet on wet primer down. So I was actually planning on doing a masking video on this, but I decided not to because I'm a little bit tired today actually. We had a long weekend. As I'm making this video, we had a long weekend and I don't know, just didn't feel like talking first thing in the morning. I actually overslept last night, that's what I reckon it was. I went to sleep too early last night. Sometimes when you do that, you actually you end up more tired than if you just have the normal amount of sleep. But all that aside, we're just going to be... Look, I like to keep these videos to about 20 minutes per video. I know there's some people that say, man, I just sit there and watch you painting for like an hour. They don't mind, but I don't know. I might even break the video up into two. We might actually end up doing that. I'll just have to sort of play that one by ear. So yeah, I'll tell you now, I can't guarantee exactly where this video is going to end. So I actually haven't even mixed up the colour yet. So that's actually one thing that I'm going to be doing once this wet on wet primer is down. That's just a way to sort of kill an extra sort of 5 or 10 minutes in between coats, if you know what I mean. So it's a pretty warm day. I've actually turned the heater in the booth off. The burner in the booth, I've turned that off, and I'm using medium reducer in this wet on wet, just to sort of slow it down a little bit. The spray booth was sitting at 28 degrees Celsius with the burner off. So I'm just staying away from those edges because I don't want too much wet on wet primer in there. Last time I did one of these, I had to spray the door jam because I got a bit of wet on wet primer too far in. I ended up having to spray inside the door jam because of wet on wet. And it actually doesn't look too bad. I haven't got too much in there so far. But obviously we'll just have to wait and see what it looks like when we're done. I think they've got enough money on these jobs anyway that toughing in a door jam for an hour or so is not the end of the world. I've done quite a lot of these resprays as I said before, and I do think I'm getting better each time I do one, incrementally better. Always learning. Anyway, I might even turn that camera off now, and I'll see you guys back here when we're ready to put the base coat down. Continuing on with the job, so obviously I just went out and mixed up the colour. I still haven't even turned the heater on in the booth because I don't think I need it. So 25 psi, full fluid, and half a turn in on the fan. ProLite T20. Actually, that's better. I must have had that fluid set for the last coat for my last job. I had to wind it out a full turn. So pretty nice and wet on my first coat. We're kind of going for coverage on our first coat. I'm not going so hard on those edges because of what I said before. I don't want too much of that colour to come inside those edges. That is half the battle for me with these resprays, especially being that it's a candy. So you've yeah, 3 coats of base coat and then 4 coats of clear. So we really don't want to overload those edges, and we also want the colour to look right in those edges. A bit of a rainy day out there, sort of feels a little bit humid, so I'm expecting this base coat to take a little bit longer than usual to dry. Yeah, as I say, I'm a little bit tired today, so excuse me if I'm not talking you through the job, but hopefully I've provided enough information and you can just sit back and watch. Just not include the footage of myself spraying the doors, just so that we can keep the video short or stop it from getting too long at the very least. So yeah, I might even end up breaking the video up into a base coat stage and then a clear coat stage or something like that, so we'll see how we go. Alright, ready for our second coat of base coat. So I did end up having to turn that burner on in between coats because it was taking quite a while to dry, but we got there in the end. That's the main thing. You get out of it, I don't need you. So down to 20 psi second coat, wind the fluid in by half a turn, and you can see like that first coat, you've got a little bit of muscle in it, but we should start seeing that start to disappear on our second coat. And then it should be completely gone by the time we put our third coat down. Now found this a very, very solid method. The 5 psi half a turn method. I guess that's what we're going to call it. I'm going with it. A Instagram follower introduced me to this method of base coat application, and it served me well. So when I was new to PPC, I was just asking my Instagram followers how they recommend I spray it. And this is the way that one of the guys that follows me is from Texas, obviously in America. And yeah, I gave it a shot and I'm like, yep, that's me, man. That's definitely me. Same time, so it's exactly the same. The petrol flap. I know some people will say, wow, you're doing a candy with the doors off, but I think it's probably a better way than doing them on, because if you do them on, you've got to walk the panels, and I found it's actually quite hard. So I don't like walking panels. I find that when I walk panels, I'm likely to trip up and not get such an even raised pattern anyway. So we'll turn it off and I'll see you when we're ready for the third. Rightio guys, time for the last coat of base coat, and I'm sure you can already notice that the base coat looks a lot better than it did before the last coat, before the previous coat. So down to 15 PSI, another half of a turn in, and off we go. And as far as distances and overlaps goes, there's just a distance that feels right. I don't know, it's sort of hard to say. Like, I guess it's like, it's a feel that you get the feeling of the right distance. I think it's to do with where the fan hits full, if you know what I mean. So you can see that the fan hits full around here. That's where you want it to be hitting the panel, if you know what I mean. Whereas when you crank the pressure up, the fan gets fuller earlier, if that makes sense. So that's why with the higher pressures, you need to go closer. And as far as overlap goes, nobody really even thinks about that. I follow this guy on Instagram called SLV Refinisher. He's like, I don't know if he does YouTube, but if he doesn't, he should, because he's really popular on Instagram. He's got like over 100,000 followers, and yeah, he's very popular over there. But he made a post saying something which I totally agree with. Like, he's like, man, no painters think about overlap. Like, you're not counting the overlap, you're just watching the paint going on, and you know, overlap is not what I'm thinking of. I'm looking at the paint going on, and if I have to slow down, well, I'm gonna bloody slow down. I'm not like, okay, I'm gonna have to adjust my overlap to 74%. I was running at 71%, but I've got to go to up to 74, or whatever stupid number you might want to call your overlap. I don't know, if you disagree with me, let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, if you have found some way of accurately counting your overlap, please let me know. I would be enlightened. I would like to be enlightened. Rightio guys, I'm going to call that a vid. I will see you in the clear coat video, or the candy video. That's going to be uploaded tomorrow. If you want to support the show, go check out my website. There's a link in the description. Go buy some merchandise. Until next time, get out there and paint some shit. Well, I'll give you a quick look over the job once it's dried down. So that is the job after the base coat has been dried down. I'm about to lay a coat of clear down, and as I said before, that's going to be in tomorrow's video, because I've been doing daily videos these days. I hope you've been enjoying. I actually did drop a couple of days, but yeah, I hope you've been enjoying the daily vids, and until next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out.